Registry lifestyle and fear on today's Modern Day Leper with Ahmad Blakemore. Hello, how are you? And welcome back to another edition of Modern Day Leper with Ahmad Blakemore. Today, we're talking about registry lifestyle and fear. What does it mean to have a lifestyle? What does lifestyle mean? Lifestyle is defined as the way in which a person or group lives, their culture. So, as registered individuals, we are seen a certain way. People believe that we have a certain lifestyle. There's a lot of mythology around our lifestyle, how we live, what we do, and what we think. Unknown to most of them, we're just like them. We have goals and dreams for our futures and for our families, things we want to accomplish, jobs we want to have, places we want to move to, things we want to buy, nice cars, maybe a bass boat. All of these things are about the way we want to live, the way we see ourselves outside of the registry. Of course, the registry is a part of our lives. The registry is on the outskirts. It's always that thing that we know is there, but it does not prevent us from having a happy, successful lifestyle. The registry alone cannot stop you from having a happy, successful lifestyle. The love of your wife, your children, your spiritual life, all of these things, whether you give back to your community or not, this stuff has nothing to do with the registry. You will be successful on the registry, in life, despite the registry, I should say. But there is one thing that will stop you, that will shut all of these things down, and that thing is fear. Fear, F-E-A-R. And I hear a lot of success coaches say false evidence appearing real. But fear is an emotion, and that emotion is extremely powerful. Fear is an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, and that thing is likely to cause us pain or be a threat to us. And so this is why people on the registry are seen a certain way, because of the way society has marketed the whole sex offender genre. How the registry is restricting us from living our lives or attempting to restrict us. But fear is something that we generate. It's self-generated. It comes from us. And fear has a way of moving. It's contagious. It can move from person to person like a virus, like a disease. And so it's our job to understand these fears and how these fears work and how these fears are manufactured. I remember when I came home from prison, I was so afraid. And the reason I was afraid is because I wasn't used to being free. I didn't have a job. I didn't have any money. I didn't know what my future was going to be on the registry. It was all brand new, and it conjured a lot of fear inside me. And relying on other people was another fear that I had. Who could I turn to? Who would be there for me? Most of the time when people found out that I was on the registry, I was run off from this place and ran off from that place, and I didn't have the ability to stand on my own. The good news for me is that I had friends that were a part of a powerful church, and they had great love for me, and that helped to stabilize and reduce my fears. What about you? What are you afraid of? What's troubling you? What bothers you in terms of being on the registry? Are you afraid that you won't be able to get employment? Are you afraid that you won't be able to accomplish your goals? Are you afraid that people are going to look at you a certain way? Are you afraid of relationships? Are you afraid of having to interact with children and that makes you uncomfortable? There are a lot of fears that are on the inside that are generated by us. And then the other fear is the fear of the general public, who usually gets half information from TV, the news, the newspaper, or some rumors, or some outside information that's usually not that accurate. And they have fears of what they think we are. And then we fear them. They fear us, we fear them more. So there's a big cluster of fear. We must overcome fear. Fear is the one thing that will destroy our lives. Not because we're on the registry, but because we are just a little more vulnerable because of the registry. There are people right now who aren't on the registry at all, and they're fearful. I hear people every day, they have great goals. They want to start a business. They want to have a relationship. They want to buy this or they want to buy that, but they're fear-based. They're afraid to start the business. What if it doesn't work? What if I bombard it with tax problems? What if I have no customers? What if I quit my job and my business doesn't work? You don't have to be on the registry to have fear. Fear is rampant. But being on the registry, we must overcome the fear. Overcoming the fear is the key to doing what we must do. If we cannot find jobs, we must find a way to be self-employed, to find service businesses that we can get onto that will help us earn money. And I will do a specific video on this particular subject of self-employment. But we will never get there if we are fearful. We cannot be in fear of what could happen or what we think could happen. This is an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief of. And most of the things we fear never happen. Most of the fear is imaginary. It comes from the belief that this could, but generally never happens. What we must stay on top of is the fact that we must work, earn our money, love our families, praise, give, love. These are the things we must do. We must find ways to be happy. We have to find ways of being valued parts of society and community. We must put these fears to the side. We cannot carry around these burdens, these imaginary actions from the outside. We already know what we must do. We know what the rules are. And we live within those rules. But our lifestyle cannot be diminished by fear. We still must be the man of our families, the head of our households, the fathers to our children, sons and daughters to our parents, husbands and wives. We must do this. We must continue to go forward in spite of the fear. And we don't have to listen to everything that comes up. Hey man, did you hear about the sex offender that this happened to, man? He went back to jail. This guy forgot to register. This guy was caught by the police over here. Has nothing to do with who you are. All of these are individual cases. Things that affect the law, we're on top of that. Get knowledgeable. Stay abreast of. But if someone fails to register when they should, that does not affect the group of registered men and women who are following the rules. For some reason, that individual did not do what he was supposed to do. But you don't have to carry that fear because this individual did not do what he was supposed to do. That's what these channels of this magnitude is for. To help us, to teach us, to help us learn, for us to come together as a group, to share information, find out what that information is, and then be responsible. Responsibility is not fearful. Responsibility reduces the fears. When we're doing what we're supposed to do, being where we're supposed to be, we have every right to go after our dreams. Don't be fearful because you're on the registry. The registry is not a fearful thing. When you're in compliance and you're following the rules, go after your dreams. And listen, for those of us who have been in prison 5 or more years, and we've wasted that time in prison, while we were in prison, we lived the number one fearful fear in the world, and that is to be locked up, taken away from your family, and put in prison. We've already lived that. So if we can do that, we can do anything. There is nothing more fearful than going to prison. And if you survive that, you can survive these streets. Keep your head up, stay positive, and only listen to positive information. Don't spend your time with the negative naysayers. There is a reason that they want us fearful. They want us fearful, so we will tap out. They don't want us in the game. Because one thing that's going to be hard to swallow is a lot of successful men and women on the registry. Go and think about that. I'm Ahmad Blakemore. I am the modern day leper, and I will see you on the next one. And remember, fear not. Have a great day. Bye-bye.